There is one specific person in the White House. I cannot figure out what the hell his dysfunction is. You know that guy on here that goes around and he rates food and he's like, what the fuck? That's a 9. That's what I've been thinking ever since I came across interviews with Jared Kushner. And then I read books, and I still don't understand it. I really just want to sit like face to face with them and be like, try to figure him out. So anyway, during Trump's first term, Jared couldn't get a security clearance. And apparently this was just an ongoing problem. Nobody liked Jared and Ivanka in the White House anyway. They were called the kids. They were just underfoot and in the way. There was no damn reason why Jared or Ivanka should have security clearances to read classified material. The shits need to know, and they didn't need to know. Let me explain. I'm taking this little part from a book called A Very Stable Genius. In May, the problem of Kushner's lack of permanent security clearance resurfaced at the White House. Again, sometimes Trump would badger Kelly to just fix it with Kushner or Ivanka standing by. He's like, look, help him out here. Just pass them. Why can't they have one? Trump gave what Kelly considered an order. I want you to give it to them. Kelly's like, fuck no. Ain't doing it. But he did give some advice to Trump. Since Trump was the final authority on access to classified material, he could legally decide on his own to grant Kushner a permanent clearance. Trump tried to get Kelly to do it instead, as a fall guy. I forgot to mention that Kushner had extensive ties with Russia. Anyhow, in the end, Trump did what he promised the media he would not do. He bypassed the typical process to grant Kushner permission to see the country's most carefully guarded secrets. Of course, later on, they would insist that they did it the right way. Absolutely useless. Anyway, back to Jared. This is taken from the book Rage by Bob Woodward. He dedicated an entire chapter just to Kushner. And it starts out, while in college more than 55 years ago, I knew an English professor who understood how elusive a biography can be. The biographer, he argued, must find the true reflectors of a subject, the people who know the person as well as anyone. So Bob found Jared. Bet he wishes he never had. When I first heard about Jared Kushner, he seemed to worship his father-in-law, acting as an ever-loyal cheerleader and true believer. He once told associates, when I disagree with the president, I always say, okay, what am I missing? Because he's proven time and time again to have good instincts. If the president didn't tweet it, it didn't happen. You send out a press release and it goes into the ether and nobody cares. He puts out a tweet and it's on CNN 1.5 minutes later. Bob's like, no, this guy can't give an honest assessment. Then, on February 8, 2020, Kushner advised others on the 4 texts that he said someone in a quest to understand Trump should read. The first one, the Wall Street Journal's Pulitzer Prize-winning columnist Peggy Noonan on the column, He's Crazy and It's Kind of Working. Kushner made it clear that his endorsement of the column was not an aside or a stray comment, but it was central to understanding Trump. What was the title of that column? Over Trump, we're as divided as ever. It was devastating. In it, she called Trump a circus act and a living insult. What you feel is disquiet, she wrote, and you know what it's about, the worrying nature of Mr. Trump himself. Epic instability, mismanagement, and confusion. Noonan was a conservative speechwriter for President Reagan. Anyway, we're not talking about being colorfully, craftily unpredictable as political masters like FDR and Reagan sometimes were, but something more unfortunate, an unhinged or not fully hinged quality that feels like screwball tragedy. Warming to her theme, Noonan wrote, crazy doesn't last. Crazy doesn't go the distance. Crazy is an unstoppable element that when let loose in an unstable environment, explodes. Sooner or later, something bad will happen. Jared recommended that column to Bob Woodward. The second recommendation for understanding Trump was The Cheshire Cat in Alice in Wonderland. Kushner was explicitly saying Alice in Wonderland was a guiding text for the Trump presidency. Kushner understand how negative this was. He did. The third one Kushner recommended for understanding Trump was Chris Whipple's book, The Gatekeepers, How the White House Chiefs of Staff Defined Every Presidency. In the book, Whipple concluded that after the president, the chiefs of staff held the fate of the country in their hands. In a chapter on the Trump presidency added in March 2018, Whipple wrote that Trump clearly had no idea how to govern. That Jared, Trump's son-in-law, recommended for Bob Woodward to understand Trump was Win Bigly, Persuasion in a World Where Facts Don't Matter by Scott Adams. Combined, Kushner's 4 texts painted Trump as crazy, aimless, stubborn, and manipulative. I could hardly believe anyone would recommend these as ways to understand their father-in-law, much less the president they believed in and served. What the fuck, Jared?